Happy memories with my mom, happy memories with my mother, stories from my life. Grandma's porch. Sit down, relax, enjoy. Here on Grandma's porch. My favorite moments, my favorite times with my mom. Hello, y'all. I'm Dianna Brianne. Well, I've been sharing the little bits and pieces of my life and different stories from my life. I don't give suggestions, recommendations, information. I just share with you my perspective on different topics. And so this one is about my mom. You know, I took care of my mom at the end of her life because she was so sick. And I talked about that. I think it was called Caregiver. I did a couple different videos on that, taking care of mom. And but this one goes back more to happier moments. And my mom and I were always, she was always moving back and forth across country when I was living in California. She was going through from one southern like town to Texas to California, and then she'd make, it was like a triangle. And she moved back and forth all the time. I think part of it was she wanted to be where her roots were, but yet she wanted to get away from them as well. And so she really didn't find that contentment till later in time. But anyhow, we would make a lot of trips across country together. And I remember many of those trips as being fun and great trips coming across country with her. We'd stop at nice motels and have nice food and laugh along the way. And my mother used to be a radio singer called Yodelin' Pat. And she was on the radio as Yodelin' Pat. I think it was in the 1930s or 40s. And so she used to sing to me, and she had a beautiful voice, and she was wonderful. I would say that my happiest moments that I can remember with my mom, the most happy moments, were when she lived out in Palm Springs and she had her small home there. It was like an apartment condo, and she lived there, and I lived in Newport Beach, Irvine, Newport Beach area at that time. And I would go out there. I had a job I loved, and I would go out there on the, you know, like on a Monday or Tuesday, whenever my days were off, whatever days I had off, I would go out and spend one night, maybe 2 nights with her. And she always had food on the table. She'd make bacon and eggs. She made the best bacon and eggs ever with toast. She always had chips and salsa waiting for me. We'd watch little TV programs together at night, and we would talk, and she'd always let me sleep in her bed, and she'd sleep on the couch. And she always made good food. I always felt safe. I always felt warm. I always felt protected going out there. And it was just that we had happy moments together. We laughed a lot, and we were there to support each other. And she'd always do my laundry for me. I'd take my laundry out, and she'd do my laundry for me. And now I do my laundry sometimes for my kids. So it's kind of like I'm doing what my mom did. But my mom, that time period was my favorite time period of all. When she lived out in Palm Springs, and I was living down in Newport, and I would drive. It was about an hour and a half drive, 2 hours, about an hour and a half. And I would drive out there, spend a day or two with her, and then go back. And I loved my life in my Newport Beach area, and I loved my life, you know, going out to visit her. And so that was truly a wonderful time, and wonderful, just a great time with my mom. And of course, she and I had many, many wonderful times. My mom was extremely supportive of me. She believed in me. She was there for me. She was my biggest cheerleader, my biggest support. We talked every night on the phone for forever. We always talked every night before, you know, I went to bed. And even when I lived in Europe, we would fax each other 1-minute letters back and forth, because it was a lot cheaper to fax a 1-minute letter than to make a telephone call back then. So we would fax each other, and then eventually when she got web email and I got email, when the internet came up, we started messaging each other that way. And she lived for her messages from me. me, her emails and phone calls. And faxes. She loved to use the fax machine. She really, really did. She loved to write her letters and then message. But then later she got the web TV, I think it was called, and it was through her TV, but she could, get the internet and do email. So that was the best time. I loved my conversations with her. I loved my evening conversations with her. And I loved sending her faxes and messages when we lived in Europe, and emails. And even later, we would still email even though we would talk at night. So that was all wonderful. So those were some of the best times with my mom. And I really, really miss my mom. From my house to yours, may God bless you. I hope you like, share, subscribe. And I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye. Porch, a place to relax.